Most RPG lists show you the same games over and over, but not this one. In this video, we're diving into 18 of the newest RPG titles coming between 2025 and 2026, games that are pushing gameplay, storytelling, and world design to a whole new level. If you're looking for the latest RPG games, make sure you watch this video till the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. In Divinity, Original Sin 2, you're dropped into a rich fantasy world where everything reacts to your choices. Every decision you make can change the story, your companions, and even how the world responds to you. You'll explore a variety of detailed environments, from dark cities and mysterious forests to dangerous ruins filled with secrets and loot. Compared to earlier games in the series, this one gives you much more freedom. Combat is more tactical, interactions are deeper, and the story is far more dynamic and unpredictable. At its core, it's all about thinking carefully, making decisions, and dealing with the consequences of your actions. You step into a massive fantasy world where every choice you make shapes your journey in unexpected ways. The people you meet, the paths you take, and the outcomes you face are all influenced by your decisions. In Baldur's Gate 3, this freedom reaches another level, where almost every situation can be approached in multiple ways depending on how you choose to play. Instead of following a fixed path, you're constantly creating your own experience through strategy, dialogue, or combat. At its core, it's about shaping your own story in a world that reacts to everything you do. A new journey begins in a world filled with gods, chaos, and endless battles where every run feels different from the last. You're constantly pushed into fast-paced combat where timing, movement, and skill decide your survival. In Hades 2, everything is built around replayability. Every attempt changes your path, your abilities, and the challenges you face. The world is deeply connected to mythology, filled with powerful characters, strange environments, and intense encounters that test your limits. You find yourself in a world on the edge of collapse, where nature, magic, and corruption are constantly fighting for control.
But rest assured, I'm going to show you the difference.
Every step forward feels dangerous, and every decision can shift the balance between survival and destruction. In GreedFall, the dying world, exploration plays a huge role. You travel through mysterious lands filled with hostile creatures, lost civilizations, and factions that all have their own agendas. More than just fighting and leveling up, this game is about decision-making, politics, and managing relationships within a collapsing world. Warhammer 40,000, Rogue Trader takes you into a massive sci-fi universe filled with war, politics, and constant danger. You step into the role of a powerful trader who has authority over unexplored regions of space. The game focuses heavily on choice and strategy. Every decision you make can affect your crew, your allies, and entire star systems. It's not just about fighting, it's about managing resources, building your ship, and deciding how to handle different factions. Combat is turn-based, meaning you need to think before every move instead of rushing in. Each encounter rewards planning and smart decision-making. The world itself is dark, massive, and full of lore, showing a future where humanity is constantly fighting for survival across the galaxy. The world of Dragon's Dogma 2 is significantly larger and more vibrant than that of the original game. Cities, NPCs, and even the creatures exhibit more natural behavior, creating a more realistic sense of a living world. The game features an open fantasy world comprising cities, forests, mountains, and perilous regions teeming with various monsters. Each area presents unique characteristics and challenges. They are not merely backdrops for exploration but directly impact gameplay. Visually, the sequel is built using the RE engine, resulting in vastly more realistic and modern lighting, animations, and environmental detail. While the pawn system retains its original foundation, the companion's AI has been improved, allowing them to provide greater assistance during combat and exploration. Avowed is a first-person RPG that focuses on a deep fantasy world and a wide range of choices. What makes the game exciting is the mix of magic, close combat, and ability combinations, making every fight feel different. The missions are not simple or fully linear. Some sections are more challenging and require you to think carefully, manage your resources, and adapt your fighting style based on the situation. The main difference between Avowed and many other RPG games is its first-person perspective, which makes you feel much more directly inside the world. This creates a more personal and immersive experience during both combat and exploration. Overall, the game focuses on freedom of choice, combining magic and weapons, and giving you a direct connection to a rich fantasy world. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 is a game that focuses primarily on challenging boss battles and the unique design of every enemy. Each boss features distinct attack patterns, requiring you to master the timing of defense and offense, as mistakes are punished swiftly. The game's environment boasts a distinctive artistic design, a blend of strange lands, surreal spaces, and fantasy realms that feel more like a living painting than a standard game world. Visually, the game is impressive. The lighting, color palette, and environmental details ensure every scene is vivid and striking, all while avoiding a sole reliance on photorealism. What sets this game apart is the combination of tough boss fights, unique art direction, and a combat rhythm that constantly demands precision and quick reflexes. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please like and subscribe, and let's move on to the rest of the video. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is built on CryEngine, which improves lighting accuracy, environmental detail, and character animation fidelity compared to the previous title. In Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2, the game is designed as a first-person, open-world RPG that simulates medieval life through systems like reputation, survival mechanics, and consequence-driven dialogue. The game's story follows the adventures of Henry, a young man caught up in the political and military struggles of medieval Bohemia. The narrative focuses on his personal growth and transformation, a journey shaped by war, betrayal, and constantly shifting alliances. A vibrant anime-style world comes to life with fast-paced action combat and a strong focus on teamwork and exploration. The game stands out with its colorful art direction, smooth animations, and ability-based combat system that feels dynamic in every encounter. In Blue Protocol, Star Resonance, you enter a shared online world filled with quests, dungeons, and large environments where cooperation and character progression play a major role in your journey. The game blends MMORPG elements with action combat, allowing players to customize abilities and playstyles while exploring a story-driven fantasy universe. One of its key features is cross-platform availability, meaning you can play it both on PC and mobile devices, Android and iOS, making it accessible anywhere without losing the core experience. The story of Nioh 3 follows a warrior caught in a world filled with constant war, supernatural threats, and shifting alliances during Japan's chaotic historical era. You play as a character who must survive through brutal conflicts while uncovering the truth behind the spreading darkness and the forces controlling it. The game also expands its RPG systems with more flexible character builds, allowing players to mix different abilities, weapons, and combat styles to suit their approach. Compared to earlier Nioh games, the biggest shift is how the combat system now feels less rigid and more adaptive. Fights are designed to flow more naturally, letting players react and adjust mid-combat with greater control. The story of Code Vein 2 takes place in a ruined world where humans and powerful beings called Revenants are struggling to survive after a massive collapse caused by unknown forces. At first glance, the gameplay of Code Vein 2 presents itself as a natural evolution of its predecessor. Combat is faster, animations are smoother, and the skill system appears to offer greater depth. However, after a few hours of play, a serious question arises. Are we truly witnessing an advancement, or simply experiencing the same old formula with a fresh coat of paint? The game remains heavily reliant on the Souls-like structure, meaning stamina management, strike timing, dodging, and mastering enemy patterns form the core of the experience. While this is not inherently a flaw, Code Vein 2 frequently leans too heavily on familiar tropes, approaching innovation with excessive caution. In Monster Hunter Wilds, your role is not only hunting monsters but also investigating the balance of nature, tracking species, and gathering information about the changing environment. The narrative is built around exploration and research rather than a linear story. The story of Monster Hunter Wilds is set in an untamed frontier where ecosystems are unstable and powerful monsters are directly affected by environmental changes. You are part of an expedition tasked with studying these regions and understanding why certain creatures are behaving more aggressively than before. A key feature of the game is its evolving world systems, where weather, terrain, and ecosystem changes directly affect how monsters act and how hunts unfold, making every encounter feel different and unpredictable. Your role in Beast of Reincarnation is to advance through this unstable land, confront powerful creatures, and uncover the secret behind the world's collapse. As you progress, you will gather resources, battle enemies, and adapt your abilities to survive in areas that grow increasingly dangerous. From the very first reveal, it was clear that the developers intended to venture into a darker, more serious, and more mature atmosphere. Ruined environments, bizarre creatures, fast-paced combat, and an apocalyptic setting give the game a strong resemblance to prominent titles in the modern action RPG genre. The game's story centers on Emma, an outcast shunned by society due to her illness, who is accompanied by a sick dog named Cove. Players will journey alongside Cove through this contaminated world, facing various challenges and uncovering dangerous truths. Lost Soul Aside is a fast-paced action game with a strong focus on stylish combat and a cinematic story. You play as Khazan, a young warrior who sets out on a dangerous journey after his sister is taken by mysterious creatures called Voidraks. Along the way, he is joined by a powerful entity named Arena, which can transform into different weapons and help him in battle. The game features fluid, combo-heavy combat inspired by titles like Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy. Players can switch between weapons mid-fight to create fast and dynamic combos. With its flashy visuals, fantasy world, and high-speed action, the game mainly focuses on delivering an intense and cinematic combat experience. The first Berserker, Khazan is a fast and brutal Souls-like action game set in the dungeon and fighter universe, taking place long before the main story. You play as Khazan, a legendary general betrayed, tortured, and exiled, who returns after a mysterious transformation into a raging berserker. Combat is intense and close range, focusing on precise dodges, parries, and stamina control. The game also features a dark cel-shaded anime style that gives it a bloody and dramatic fantasy vibe. Overall, it's a challenging experience made for players who enjoy tough boss fights and skill-based combat. The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to the 2019 game developed by Obsidian Entertainment, set in a brand new star system called Arcadia. You play as an Earth Directorate agent sent to uncover the mystery behind dangerous space rifts. The gameplay has been significantly improved compared to the first game, with smoother shooting mechanics, faster movement, and new abilities like sliding and double jump. The biggest change from the original is more player freedom and the addition of a third-person mode alongside the first-person view, giving a fresh way to experience the game. The world design is also more detailed, creating a larger and more immersive sci-fi adventure. In 14th century Europe, where the plague has destroyed everything and darkness feels more alive than ever, a world has emerged where vampires rule. The Blood of Dawnwalker puts you in the role of a character named Cohen, a man trapped between humanity and vampirism, where day and night create two completely different worlds. The gameplay is built around this day and night shift. During the day, you engage in intense combat, precise sword fighting, and tactical decision-making. But when night falls, vampiric powers like super speed, wall traversal, and brutal attacks become available, completely changing the way you play. Everything is tied together with a choice and time system. Every decision you make moves time forward, and your choices directly shape the fate of characters and the direction of the story.